Now, let me give you a disturbing thought, a fascinatingly disturbing thought, and we'll leave you on that note. If you look at our closest genetic relative to human beings, it would be the chimpanzee. We share like 98+% identical DNA. We are smarter than a chimpanzee. Everything that we are that distinguishes us from chimps emerges from that 1% difference in DNA. Maybe everything that we are that is not the chimp is not as smart compared to the chimp as we tell ourselves it is. Imagine another life form that's 1% different from us in the direction that we are different from the chimp. So I lay awake at nights wondering whether simply we as a species are simply too stupid to figure out the universe that we're investigating. I'm jealous of that possibility because I want to be around for those discoveries.
In this video, we're going to explore section 3 of Zarathustra's Prologue, presenting the idea that an existential crisis can lead to transformative self-discovery and substantial personal growth. Although, the most naive thing we can do is tell another person who is far from the beginning of their journey what to do. And that's what Zarathustra did. Verily, a polluted stream is man. One must be a sea to be able to receive a polluted stream without becoming unclean. Behold, I teach you the overman. He is this sea. In him, your great contempt can go under. What is the greatest experience you can have? It is the hour of the great contempt. The hour in which your happiness too arouses your disgust and even your reason and your virtue. For those who are or who have experienced an existential crisis, you might have looked at your life with confusion, dissatisfaction, disgust. You're asking yourself questions like, how did I get here? What is my purpose in life? How do I define happiness and success? What do I want out of life? This is what Nietzsche is describing as the hour of the Great Contempt. It's a period of time in some people's lives where we look introspectively with wonder. The idiom midlife crisis is not exclusive to 40, 50-year-olds and above. In fact, Zarathustra had his beginning at 30 and ending at 40, as mentioned in part 1 of this video series. During that time, we want to do things like cut off the world. These are those trends that we see: minimalism, dopamine detox, no fap, no alcohol, no nothing. The only things we want to do are improve our physique, acquire new skills, read new books, maybe start a business, invest our money, and be around like-minded individuals. Have you heard of any of those things? Nietzsche calls the end of this process, the ultimate form of who we become, the overman. Behold, I teach you the overman. The overman is the meaning of the earth. Let your will say, the overman shall be the meaning of the earth. I beseech you, my brothers, remain faithful to the earth, and do not believe those who speak to you of otherworldly hopes. Poison mixers are they, whether they know it or not. Despisers of life are they, decaying and poison themselves, of whom the earth is weary. So let them go. During our existential crisis, we might even challenge our faith, our religion, our family values, and more. I know I did. We look at it, for the first time ever, with fresh eyes, completely objective, and we might even object to what we see. But how does this occur? During Nietzsche's life, the publication of Charles Darwin's On the Origin of Species sparked it. Published in 1859, it had a profound impact on the zeitgeist. The book's theory of evolution by natural selection challenged many of the prevailing beliefs about the natural world and the place of humans in it. One of the most significant impacts from the book was on the religious world, which influenced the entire world, governments, economics, stuff like that. The book's theory of evolution contradicted the biblical account of creation, and many religious leaders were initially hostile to Darwin's ideas, one calling it mischievous, another offering to debate him, another even issuing an official decree from the Catholic Church condemning Darwin's theory as false and contrary to faith. In modern times, it might be a combination of dissatisfaction from our jobs, our status, our health, our relationships, and we're just tired of feeling tired. I once wrote to myself, there are 4 groups of people in life. Those who don't know and won't do anything, those who don't know and will do anything, those who do know and won't do anything, and those who do know and will do anything. The first group of people I call the victims, aka the sheep. This group of people are just fine with how life is and aren't looking for anything outside of their current comfortable life. They don't want to challenge themselves. They don't want to improve. They're just a cog in every aspect of their life. The second group of people I call the believers, aka naive. This group of people are dissatisfied with their life, but they don't know what they don't know. They have no idea of how much work it takes to improve themselves, but they're willing to start. The third group of people I call the sloths, aka content. This group of people were prior believers. They started the path of self-improvement, but reached a point where they finally understood how much work it takes. It's the classic Dunning-Kruger effect, and they chose to settle. I believe this group is more dangerous to society than the sheep because they chose not to continue rather than the sheep who are just ignorant. In the last group, the fourth group of people, I call the doers, and Nietzsche would call these people the overmen. This group of people have chosen the path of most resistance, which is overcoming human nature, overcoming groupthink, distractions, and contentment, even in the face of steep learning curves. This group of people are whom Nietzsche's philosophy, and by extension, existentialism, is for. What is the greatest experience you can have? It is the hour of great contempt, the hour in which your happiness too arouses your disgust and even your reason and your virtue. The hour when you say, "What matters my happiness? It is poverty and filth and wretched contentment, but my happiness ought to justify existence itself." The hour when you say, "What matters my reason? Does it crave knowledge as the lion his food? It is poverty and filth and wretched contentment." The hour when you say, "What matters my virtue? As yet it has not made me rage. How wary I am of my good and my evil." All that is poverty and filth and wretched contentment. The hour when you say, "What matters my justice? I do not see that I am flames and fuel, but the just are flames and fuel." The hour when you say, "What matters my pity? Is not pity the cross on which he is nailed who loves man? But my pity is no crucifixion." Nietzsche's greatest mistake was not presenting the overman to the world. It was expecting everyone would listen. Zarathustra stood in the town square with a group full of sheep. None of the sheep wanted to listen to him. They wanted to be content and entertained by what was before them. They weren't seeking anything because they didn't feel like anything was wrong with their life. In modern times, we must be able to remove ourselves from technology and people and sit with our thoughts. If we want anything to change in our lives, we must take accountability for where we lack and work on improving those areas. That's why certain trends like dopamine detox, minimalism, stoicism, etc. will never go away. There will always be a select group of people who want to improve, but what's crucial is that not only we audit ourselves, our values, our morals, etc., but also audit the information we consume so that as we expand into that ocean that Nietzsche describes, we don't become easily polluted by bad information, but rather able to discern noise from signal. In my next video, we'll finish explaining the characteristics of the overman.